Hi all, this is Nidhi here. So today's topic is demand function and law of demand. So start with the demand function. Demand function shows the relationship between quantity demanded of a particular commodity and the factors influencing it. So that means it shows the relationship between whom? Between the quantity demanded and the factors influencing it. That means function is nothing but only the expression. If you show the relationship in the expression form, that was only known as demand function. So if you show the relation in the expression form, that how demand is changing due to which factors, that is known as demand function. Demand function shows the relationship of two things. First, how much particular commodity is demanded and what are the factors influencing that demand. Clear? Now demand function is nothing, what I told is only the expression. Clear? So in which shows that how the demand is expressed in relation to which all the factors affecting demand. Demand function are of two types: individual demand function and market demand function. Individual demand function, it is the functional relationship between individual demand and the factors influencing it. Individual means that one only particular, talking about the one person. So it is the functional relationship, means it is showing that how the demand, that means what are the factors which are affecting the individual demand. So suppose here if I show it in the expression form, that means only we are showing the demand function. Suppose I am taking it dx for the dx, that is demand for the x commodity, and what are the factors influencing this demand. Shall I write it? So demand function shows the functional relationship. F is the functional relationship. And what are the factors? What I taught you in the determinants of demand, that 5 topics you need to cover in this individual market demand. First of all, the price of the X commodity, price of the related goods, income of the consumer, taste and preference, and last one is what? Expectations of change in the future price. So this 5 variables will come under the individual demand function, which you have learnt in the determinants of demand. Clear? So these are the variables. Okay, and this is the demand for X commodity. Clear? Now market demand function, it is the functional relationship between market demand and the factors influencing it. Market demand where all the buyers are there. So it is the functional relationship. So that means what are the factors? We have to see what are the factors which are influencing, which are affecting the market demand. Now here all the factors which come will come, like individual demand function will also come, and also the market demand function factors will come. First of all, demand for X commodity, functional relationship, price of X commodity, price of related goods, income of the consumer, taste, expectations, population, then the income distribution, season and weather, and so on. Clear? So this is the, I have written in the expression form. This is the market demand function. Remember, in the left hand side, dx stands for demand for X commodity. Please write it in the examination time when you have to write it. This is demand for X commodity. This is the functional relationship, and these are all the variables which are listed on the right hand side are the independent variables, and demand is the dependent variable. These are all the factors which affect demand. Clear? So this is the demand function. Hope I have made you clear. Now second topic is the law of demand. Okay. Law of demand. Law of demand states that other things remain constant, quantity demanded is more at a lower price, and quantity demanded is less at a higher price. That means more quantities demanded at a lower price and lesser quantities demanded at a higher price. Other things remain constant. You can see there is an inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded of a commodity. Other things remaining same. Other things remaining same means you will take all the factors except price of the commodity. Clear? Now here law of demand states that other things remaining same. I told what I explained in the textual manner, what I have written in the textual manner, I will write in the tabular form now. Here I am taking the price in rupees form and quantity in the units. Clear? Now you see, when the price is rupees 1, I demanded 10 quantities of a commodity. When price 2, 8, 3, 4 and 5. What you can see here in this table, two things I can see. First of all, I can see that when the price is increasing, see, when the price is increasing, quantity demanded is less. Is not it? When the price is increasing, quantity demanded is less. And when the price is decreasing, quantity demanded is more. So, there is an inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. That means lesser quantities demanded at a higher price. Clear? Lesser quantities demanded at a higher price. See, when the price was rupees 1, you demanded 10 units. And when price rises from rupees 1 to rupees 2, you demanded less quantity. That means your quantity reduces from 10 units to 8 units. And when price rises again from 2 rupees to 3 rupees, your quantity reduces from 8 units to 6 units. So what you can see here is that two things is very much important. First of all, there is an inverse relationship between the price and quantity demanded. And second thing is that when the price is increasing, quantity demanded is decreasing. Clear? Now, here I have made you clear law of demand. Now assumptions. So there are some assumptions in the law of demand. Law of demand assumptions, you will take all the determinants of demand. Whatever you have written, you have read determinants of demand, you will write all there in the assumptions. Clear? Suppose I am giving you one example. You will write all assumptions. You will write all the determinants of demand except the price. Clear? Don't take the price, and rest all things will fall under the assumptions in the law of demand. First assumptions, if I take first assumption was like, suppose price of related goods. You have learnt in the determinants of demand, price of related goods, substitute goods and complementary goods, if you have remember. So price of related goods, only just add few words here. Price of related goods remain constant. Clear? Now, size of population remain constant. Clear? Income of the consumer should not change. Just you need to add this words. Clear? And assumptions will be done. Clear? Again, if you have any doubt regarding the assumptions, then please refer my book. This is again, I am saying, the essence of microeconomics, available in Amazon and Flipkart. Here everything is written, law of demand, assumptions, and why does demand curve slopes downward. Every topic is cleared in a simple language. Okay. Now, I hope this is clear to you. Assumptions, I am rubbing it. Okay. Now, if I plot this table graphically, then see. Let us plot this table graphical manner. Here I am taking the x-axis quantity, and in y-axis I am taking the price. Clear? It is a gap of 2, so I am taking here 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. See, when the price is rupees 1, my quantity demanded is 10 units. So this is the vertical axis price I have taken here. So when the price is rupees 1, my quantity demanded is 10. When price is rupees 2, quantity demanded is 8. When price is 3, 6 units. Price is 4, 4 units. Price is 5, 2 units. Clear? So if I join these points, I will get the downward sloping curve, which is indicating an inverse relationship between the price and the quantity demanded. Clear? I hope this is clear. Note it down, please. Now, I will explain you why consumer demand more commodity, more quantity at a lower price and lesser at a higher price, or why does law of demand operates. Clear? I hope this you have noted down. See, why does, question comes in the exam, why does law of demand operate? So there are many reasons. First reason that why consumer demand more at a lesser price. First is the law of diminishing marginal utility. I am writing in the shortcut. Don't write it in the examination hall. Okay, you write it in the full. Diminishing marginal utility. You remember I have made you made this concept clear in my previous lesson, the previous class. Law of diminishing marginal utility. Law of diminishing marginal utility states that as you consume more and more units, the utility derived from each successive unit goes on decreasing. See, as you consume more and more units of a commodity, the utility derived from each successive unit decreases. Clear? Now, for example, a hungry man maximizes his satisfaction when he takes the first chapati. He gets the maximum utility when he consumes the first chapati. Then, when he consumes the second chapati, his maximum satisfaction reduces. And again, when he took the third chapati, his utility, that means satisfaction, reduces, and so on. That means he gets the highest satisfaction from the first chapati. He will pay more. Now, if he is getting the less satisfaction, he will pay less. Why? Since additional units gives him the lesser utility, only he will pay for the additional unit when he is getting at the lower price. Obviously, when your maximum satisfaction rises, you pay more for that commodity. But when you are consuming more and more units, your satisfaction level decreases. That's what a hungry man did. When he consumed the first chapati, his satisfaction was highest that time. So he was paying more for that chapati. But when his maximum satisfaction is reducing, but when his satisfaction utility is reducing, from every unit he is consuming, he is paying less for it. And he will pay more only. Why? When he will pay more? He will pay more only when he is getting at a lower price. So the consumer will buy more units of the commodity only when the price falls. Clear? Here the law of demand operates, where he will pay more only when his demand will be more, when the price will be lower. Clear? Second is the income effect. Now, What is income effect? See, when the price of any commodity falls, real income or the purchasing power of the consumer increases. Real income is what? Real income is measured in terms of goods and services. Suppose I am giving you one example. Suppose you went to the market and you thought to buy a ice cream. You buy 4 ice creams. You thought of buying the 4 ice creams at the rate of rupees 10 each. Okay? Now, how much cost you have to pay? 40 rupees. Clear? 40 rupees you have to pay for the 4 ice creams. Now, when the price reduces from 10 to 8 rupees, now you buy 4 ice creams there at the price of 8. How much you have to pay? You have to pay now 32 rupees. Clear? Before that you were paying 40 rupees. Now when the price falls from 10 to 8 rupees, you are paying now 32 rupees only. So what is it there? That means that now you are paying less for the 4 ice creams. So how much it is saved? Now 8 rupees you can save. Or you can buy 1 more ice creams. That means you can buy now 5 ice creams at the same price. At the same money income, not price, at the same money income. You were having only 40 rupees. You were having only 40 rupees with you. Clear? Now when the price reduces from 10 to 8, you are only paying 32 rupees. So how much money you can save from it? You can save 8 rupees. Either you can save 8 rupees or you can buy 1 more ice cream with that, with the same money income. So that is only the real income. So this is only the real income. When price of a commodity falls, the real income of the consumer increases, which enables him to buy more units of the commodity at the same money income. Clear? So this is the income effect. Please don't mix this money income and all the things together. I am clear, I think so, with this example. Again, I'm saying just have a look in this example. 4 ice creams, you are just paying 40 rupees for the 4 ice creams. When the price reduces to 8 rupees, you are paying now 32 rupees. That means what you can do here is that you can save either 8 rupees or you can spend it for buying 1 more ice cream. Clear? So this is the income effect. So remember one thing. Income effect is related to change in income. Income effect is related to change in income caused due to change in price, not due to change in money income. It is just because of the change in price. Clear? So income effect is related to a change in income caused due to change in price. Clear? Caused due to change in price and not due to change in money income. Always remember. So this is the income effect. So a change in quantity demanded. Change in, obviously, before you were buying 4 units, now you are buying the 5 units. So a change in the quantity demanded as a result of change in real income caused due to change in price. Caused due to change in price, obviously, look at it, caused due to change in price of a commodity is called the income effect. I hope this I have cleared. Third, substitution effect. Substitution, you know. Substitution means replacement of one commodity for the another. That means you can use the same type of good and hence it can be satisfied or can be used in place of one another, like Coke and Pepsi. I am giving you the example. Suppose when the price of a commodity falls, obviously when price of a commodity falls, it is become relatively cheaper. It is relatively cheaper. So what happens there is what? As compared to its substitutes, that means substitution, that means the price of the substitute good is not changed. So what happens? Suppose I am taking example of the Coke and Pepsi. Okay, these are the substitute goods. Now both are sold at the rate of rupees 10 each. That means 100 ml of both Coke and Pepsi can be sold at rupees 10 each. Now suppose the price of Pepsi falls down. Now the price of Pepsi falls down and Coke price remains the same. Coke price is 10 and price of Pepsi falls down to 8 rupees now. So what happens? What will happen? Obviously it is become relatively cheaper now and the consumer will demand more for the Pepsi and will substitute Coke in place of and will substitute Coke for Pepsi. So the consumer will demand more for Pepsi. So this is also the substitution effect in the law of demand, which demand increases of the Pepsi. Clear? Now number 4th point is that number of buyers. See, number of buyers. Now number of buyers means that when the price of a commodity falls, there are the old buyers who demands for the commodity in a reduced price, and also there are some new buyers who were not in a position to purchase that commodity earlier. So now what happens? They will also start buying that commodities in a reduced price. So there will be a number of consumers more and demand will also be more. So increase in the number of consumers means increase in the demand for a commodity. So as the price of a commodity falls, number of consumers increases and thereby demand also increases. Clear? 5th point. Diverse uses of a commodity. See, diverse uses of a commodity. That means, suppose when the price of a commodity falls, suppose I am taking the example of a milk. If the milk price falls down, then what happens? You can use the milk for various purposes, like you can make for the preparation of sweets, making curd, or varieties of things you can use. You can make cheese, paneer, everything you can do it with the this one milk if the price falls. But if the price rises of a milk, what happens? Your use will restrict for an important purpose only. You will only drink milk. You will not use for other purposes. You will think as the price is high, so I will only keep the milk for drinking purpose. I will not use for the other purpose because the price is high. So you will restrict your needs for the important uses only. So demand will fall. But if the price is fallen for the milk, then what will happen? You will think of making several items at your home as your guest is coming and the price is also, milk is reduces. So you will think of making so many varieties of dishes in your menu. So what happens? Demand increases for the milk. This is the law of demand operates here. Clear? So I hope this is clear. If you have any queries, please write it in my comment box and please like and subscribe my channel. Thank you.